is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The Dane County Medical Examiner is identifying the two people found dead inside a town of Sun Prairie home last week in an apparent murder-suicide. They say 44-year-old Jessica Ewers died after being shot. The suspect, 45-year-old James Budworth, also died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Their bodies were discovered in the home on Pierceville Road on December the 28th. Sheriff Dave Mahoney is calling this yet another tragic case of domestic violence, urging anyone in an unsafe living arrangement to speak out.
Madeline O'Neill joins us with what victim service agencies in our area want you to know, along with the loved ones of Ewers herself. Maddie?
Well, Ewers was a mother to 5. Now authorities believe a victim to a man who was already facing domestic abuse-related charges. Tonight I spoke with her oldest child, who is sharing a message in her mother's place.
She was a lover and a fighter.
A fighter for those she loved.
Her kids were her world, and she was ours.
Now, Satiana Ewers-Kubley and her 4 siblings are wrestling with the reality of a new world, one without their mother, Jessica Ewers.
We thought she'd be fine. She's gotten through all of this. Your mom's tough. She's got this. But wasn't up to her.
Authorities believe Ewers was shot and killed by James Budworth, a man she had started dating about 3 years ago. It happened days after Christmas at their town of Sun Prairie home while she was still looking for a new place to live.
My 15-year-old sister came home from a sleepover and found them.
Though it didn't stop him, Budworth had a court order to have no contact with Ewers as he faced battery and strangulation charges in connection to a fight the couple had in October.
Abuse thrives in secrecy. It thrives in isolation.
While we're all more isolated than ever, Day's Executive Director Shannon Berry worries domestic violence is sliding under the radar.
I've been having a lot of sleepless nights, because it's not just the pandemic, it's not just the isolation and the fact that people are trapped at home, but it's really the economic strain that people are under.
The Day's helpline got less calls during the Safer at Home order, but when that was lifted in the spring,
those numbers went up and they continue to go up.
Berry says the people they're helping report more severe violence too. And during isolation, warning signs can be harder to spot.
There were things that we should have jumped on sooner, and now looking back, it's like it didn't have an impact at the time that it should have. Those are the things you can't dwell on.
Not dwelling, but fighting. Ewers-Kubley is carrying on her mom's spirit, asking others to pay extra close attention to their loved ones.
She always wanted to help people, so if we can talk about this and we can spread a message and help one person, then we've done our job.
Going into the new year, the executive director of Days also has concerns about funding, stressing just how important their safety net is for victims. We have more information on what victims and their friends and families can do on our website.
Maddie, thank you. Next at 10, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department has declared a state of emergency. That is ahead of the charging decision in the Jacob Blake case. Earlier today, the governor announced around 500 Wisconsin National Guard troops are heading to Kenosha as well. In a statement, the governor writes, quote, "We are continuing to work with our local partners in the Kenosha area to ensure they have the state support they need. Our members of the National Guard will be on hand to support local first responders to ensure Kenoshans are able to assemble safely and to protect critical infrastructure as necessary." Tonight, the family of Jacob Blake is renewing calls for justice as the city awaits that charging decision in the case.
Police Officer Shetsky needs to be fired, indicted, have his day in court, and convicted. And until we get that as a Blake family, we're not leaving Kenosha, Wisconsin.
The 29-year-old Blake was shot in the back multiple times by Kenosha Officer Rustin Shesky back in August. Many businesses in the area have also started boarding up in anticipation of more protests.
Either way their verdict goes, someone's going to be upset, and we just hope that whatever faction is upset decides to be peaceful and calm, logical, and go forward that way.
It is unclear when a decision will be announced, but it could be within the next couple of weeks.
The Wisconsin DNR says Lake Monona is now officially frozen over, but they are recommending people wait for more ice to build up to venture out onto the lake. Areas away from the shoreline may only have thin ice. 4 inches of ice is generally considered safe. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with our first one forecast. Gary?
Well, the good news for the ice fisher people is that the ice will probably continue to thicken up over the next few days. Temperatures will be mainly below normal, but the nighttime low temperatures will be held up because of the cloud cover and the fog. Here's the view from the Edgewater sky cam early this morning, completely shrouded in fog. We had a little bit of lifting of the fog during the day, a brief snow shower, and then you can see the fog starting to thicken up. That's as of 8:30, and now the live view showing still some fog around the Capitol, although things are starting to improve a little bit. 1.5 mile visibility in Madison at the Dane County Regional Airport. We're down to 3/4 mile last hour. We still see 1/4 mile visibility in Boscobel and Platteville, 0 visibility in Viroqua as some thicker fog continues out in western Wisconsin. Low temperatures this morning started out around 20 degrees, so they were below freezing. That helps thicken up the ice, but you can see the daytime high temperatures still below freezing, 28 in Madison, 27 in Janesville, but these are also, in many cases, our high temperatures for the day. Actually, Janesville's now gone up to 28 degrees, and these temperatures may go up another degree or two before falling later on tonight. The fog, freezing fog, will continue into tomorrow morning. Low temperature dropping to about 26. Look for perhaps some sunshine tomorrow afternoon after the fog starts to lift. High temperature at 30 degrees, but we'll see more clouds and temperatures pretty close to average for the rest of the week, but not much in the way of precipitation.
Gary, thank you. The 105th State Assembly has officially now been inaugurated, taking the oath this afternoon at the state capitol. Democrats boycotted the event since Speaker Robin Vos didn't make masks mandatory. Lawmakers in the assembly are also going to be required to physically come into the Capitol this session, though they spent the majority of 2020 with a virtual option. The assembly may vote on COVID relief as early as Friday, but it might not be the kind of bill that Democrats want. The bill Speaker Vos is referring to is Assembly Bill 1, which she says includes coverage of vaccinations under senior care and legislative oversight over federal COVID-19 funds.
The proposal we are introducing today has over 44 provisions to help fight the virus and reopen our economy and our schools.
Speaker Vos calls this a bipartisan bill, but also said Governor Evers walked out while negotiating.
The Wisconsin Legislature passed a joint resolution today reopening the state capitol to the public. In a statement, Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu writes the reopening is to ensure the public has open and easy access to their elected representatives and to preserve our ability to exercise our core powers and duties. The Capitol has been closed since March in the early stages of the pandemic. The National Guard will deploy in D.C. this week in light of potential protest. Mayor Muriel Bowser requested the assistance, and Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller granted it. The pro-Trump rallies are planned during what will be a politically busy week. President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden both hosting rallies today in the state of Georgia on the eve of the U.S. Senate runoff election. During his rally tonight in Dalton, Georgia, the president said this is the most important runoff election in American history. It will likely decide whether the Senate will remain controlled by Republicans or flip to the Democrats.
The fallout continues 2 days after the president asked Georgia's top election official to, quote, find him more votes. There are now calls for both federal and state investigations. That incident causing a rift in the Republican Party that is already at odds over plans to challenge the counting of Electoral College votes in Congress this week. Natalie Brand reports.
House Democrats are urging the FBI to open a criminal investigation into President Trump's stunning one-hour phone call with Georgia's Secretary of State.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Mr. President! A source familiar with the matter tells CBS News the Saturday call was the first time the two parties spoke since Election Day, despite 18 prior attempted calls from the White House.
I didn't feel intimidated. I can stand on my own 2 feet. There's no 12,000 votes out there.
On Fox News Channel, members of the president's party gave mixed reaction.
I didn't hear anything in that tape that the president hasn't already said for weeks now.
This call was not a helpful call.
Congressional Republicans are also split over plans by dozens of GOP lawmakers to object to Wednesday's counting of Electoral College votes. Ohio Senator Rob Portman is one of the latest Republicans to come out against the plan, saying in a statement, I cannot support allowing Congress to thwart the will of the voters. The objections are expected to temporarily delay, but not overturn certification of the results.
Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States of America, notwithstanding the delusional fantasies of some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle.
President Trump lashed out at Republicans who have refused to challenge the results on Twitter, calling them the, quote, surrender caucus. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Democratic Congressman Hank Johnson of Georgia has introduced a resolution to censure the president over that call with the Georgia Secretary of State. And also today, a federal judge has rejected a lawsuit filed by 2 state Republican lawmakers and a voting rights group seeking to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Wisconsin and 4 other swing states. The judge says the case, quote, rests on a fundamental and obvious misreading of the Constitution, one of dozens of similar lawsuits that have failed since President Trump's loss to Joe Biden.
Wisconsin health officials confirmed 1,500 new COVID cases and 13 new deaths today. That means the state is less than 40 deaths away from hitting the 5,000 mark. The 7-day average for daily cases in the state is above 2,200. 51 people have been hospitalized in the past 24 hours. The Milwaukee area pharmacist accused of intentionally spoiling more than 500 doses of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine made his initial appearance in an Ozaukee court today. The judge gave 46-year-old Stephen Brandenburg a $10,000 bond. According to a probable cause statement, Brandenburg removed the vaccine box from a refrigerator at the Aurora Medical Center in Grafton and left it out for 12 hours, rendering it useless. Brandenburg told investigators that he believed the vaccine was not safe and would, quote, harm them and change their DNA, end quote. He is facing charges of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, adulterating a prescription drug, and criminal damage to property.
New tonight, the state of New York has confirmed its first case of a new, more contagious variant of coronavirus that was initially discovered in the UK. An employee at a jewelry store tested positive. The strain, which has also been found in California, Florida, and Colorado, is thought to be more transmissible, but does not appear to make people more ill or increase the risk of death. Prime Minister of the UK says everyone in the country must now stay home unless you have a permitted reason to leave as a new strict lockdown goes into effect. In a televised address, Prime Minister Boris Johnson urged people to follow the rules immediately, calling the spread of the new COVID variant both frustrating and also alarming. People will be allowed to leave their homes for limited reasons like shopping for essentials, exercise, and medical assistance. The lockdown is expected to remain in place at least through the middle of February.
A nurse in New York City has now become the first person in the country to be fully vaccinated against the virus. Sandra Lindsay received her second dose of the Pfizer vaccine today. She got her first shot 3 weeks ago.
Feel like I've completed kind of the marathon. I've closed the loop. I know that we're not out of the woods yet. We don't have that herd immunity yet, but the burden feels definitely much lighter today.
Governor Tony Evers is ordering flags to be flown at half-staff tomorrow in Wisconsin in honor of former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Shirley Abramson. Chief Justice Abramson was the first woman to serve on the Wisconsin Supreme Court and the first woman to serve as Chief of Justice. She passed away on December 19th at the age of 87. Private memorial services will be held tomorrow.
Still to come at 10 after today's snow. We'll check back in with Gary to see if any more is coming this week. But first, an update from the TSA giving new numbers today about total air travel in 2020 and how one airline is hoping to win back customers. Stay with us.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Visit Toyota.com to learn more. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Now through January 7th, join Planet Fitness for no enrollment. $10 a month, no commitment. 2020 is over. Start 2021 with tons of ways to get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. And spread out while you work out with cardio distancing and our new crowd meter. Plus, use our app to get moving anywhere. Your fitness is essential, so kick things off with the year's best deal. Join for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Deal ends January 7th.
5 Madison area locations. Sign up for $10 a month. Stop in today.
To most people, the idea of fighting is unpleasant, but sometimes it's necessary to fight. If you or your family has been injured, you'll want a good law firm on your side to make things right again. Havish, Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service that brings you area news and info 24/7 from the News 3 Now team. Channel 3000 Plus. Download it today and watch from your streaming media player or mobile device. Waking up to stuff like this should never be a surprise. Download the Channel 3000 First Warn app and be ready for whatever Mother Nature throws our way.
Hey folks, looking to declutter and make some space in the new year? There's a nonprofit that'll take it off your hands. Watch Tuesday morning and we'll show you how donating your used clothes and furniture will help out a worthy cause.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. A traffic note tonight for people in Rock County. Tomorrow on Wednesday night, crews will set girders for the new Highway 81 bridge over I-3990 in Beloit. The DOT says this work will require overnight closures of the interstate and also I-43 near the Beloit interchange. The Verona Area School District has chosen its next superintendent. A news release tonight, the district's Board of Education unanimously selected Dr. Tremaine Clardy. He has served as co-chief of elementary schools for the Madison School District since 2017. His first day will be July 1st.
Shareholders for Fiat Chrysler and French automaker PSA Group approved a merger today. The new company will be called Stellantis and employ a total of 400,000 people. It will form the 4th largest car maker by volume in the world, with more than a dozen brands. Southwest Airlines is hoping a sale will get people back in the air and traveling again. Announced today, you can snag a flight for a getaway between March and April for as low as $29 one way. You've got between now and Thursday, though, to book it. The TSA says more than 300 million people flew in 2020, although about half of those travelers flew during the first 3 months of the year before the coronavirus pandemic set in. It's a 61% drop from 2019. The new tally comes on the heels of a pandemic air travel record set yesterday. That day alone, more than 1.3 million people passed through TSA checkpoints at airports all across the country.
Heavy snowfall continued to hit northern Italy today after a weekend of extreme weather, leaving some residential areas completely snowed in. In the northeastern part of the country, close to Austria, some areas are submerged in 6.5 feet of snow. Video uploaded by the Alpine Adriatic Meteorological Society showed snow blocking the entrances to homes and buildings. More snowfall is expected there in the coming days. Certainly don't want to see anything like that around here. Gary, you know, the snow on the tree branches out there, is that from the fog? It's a beautiful sight, really.
Right, it is. And we had a little bit of light snow that added to it for about an hour this evening as a little band of snow showers came through. But for the most part, it's just been the fog we've been dealing with the last couple of days. The live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville showing very little visibility. You can see, barely make out the lights near the ground, whereas the live view from the Edgewater Skycam shows conditions improving in downtown Madison. There's the Capitol and just some very light fog, whereas on the west side of Madison, the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east, the visibility was a little bit better about 10 minutes ago. Now it's starting to fog back up again. And if we look at specific visibilities, the Dane County Regional Airport reporting 1.5 miles visibility. Platteville now down to 0 visibility. And as you can see from that tower cam, that's probably warranted. 1/4 mile visibility in Viroqua and Boscobel, 1/2 mile visibility in La Crosse. But on the other side of the Mississippi River, visibility is at water above 10 miles from much of Minnesota and Iowa as drier air is continuing out there. High-resolution Doppler radar, nothing across most of southern Wisconsin. That band of snow showers made it through Milwaukee, just kind of fell apart as it moved out into Lake Michigan. And you can see that heading away to the west, nothing really upstream. Lots of clouds, some fog, but very little in the way of precipitation. And you see now most of the fog confined to Wisconsin and Illinois and far eastern Iowa. Farther out to the west, those visibilities really improve. Three things you need to know in the forecast. Look for fog and freezing fog to continue overnight into tomorrow morning, but the weather will be dry pretty much from tomorrow all the way through the latter part of next week. Maybe late Thursday night and Friday some snow chances, and temperatures will be seasonably cold in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Average high temperature in the upper 20s, so right about where we should be. Snow cover, most the heavier snow is across northern Illinois and far southern Wisconsin, south of Madison. Also an area of heavier snow up near Lake Superior, but much of the Midwest having at least some snow cover of several inches. Temperatures were a little colder today where the snow cover is a little thicker, mainly in the upper 20s to around 30 here. Notice out to the west, they also had some sunshine that helped, and that got temperatures into the upper 30s and lower 40s. That just kind of added some moisture to the air with the westerly winds, bringing that moisture right into Wisconsin and Illinois. That's where we've got the fog tonight. But on weather track, our upper level winds right now are from the northwest. A strong storm system in the Pacific Northwest looks like it's coming in this direction, but it'll follow these jet stream winds and pass us by to the south and west. So at this point, we're going to see the clouds continuing into Wednesday and Thursday, but the better chances for snow will stay farther to the south and west into western Iowa and western Missouri. Tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 30 degrees. We'll see some morning fog and some freezing fog. Hopefully a little sunshine in the afternoon. I'm saying hopefully because after that, we've got cloudy skies in the forecast Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Not much in the way of sunshine there. High temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s. Next week, maybe a little better chance for some sun to mix in with the clouds. Highs upper 20s to around 30. And then if we see some snow chances, more likely it's going to be Thursday night into Friday of next week. So at least we'll have a quiet weather period for the next 10 days.
All right, Gary, thank you. Just ahead in sports, Jack Cohn has a new home where the former Badger quarterback is transferring, and when his new team will square off against his old one. Zach's in next with sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Thanks for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Do you make junk disappear?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
Now.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
At Papa Murphy's, we believe Tuesdays should be taken seriously. That's why we need Seriously. We chop seriously and shred seriously. And it's why every Tuesday, you can get a large made-to-order pizza for just $10. Seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays. Even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Running low on the items you need? You don't have to go out. iCare provides everything you need, delivered right to your door for free. iCare members receive up to $1,200 per year in over-the-counter benefits. Our catalog features hundreds of items that include both brand name and generic options. The iCare benefit card also gives you the freedom to buy in-store to get what you need when you need it. Rest easy. iCare is looking out for your health needs.
So, how's saving for the renovation going?
All done.
I will never understand how you do it.
Easy. She saves with BMO Harris. We give you a cash reward for every month you save.
So BMO will give me cash for saving money?
You bet.
Can the subject hold position 2, please?
How's this?
That's art.
That makes saving look good.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. Get a $5 reward every month you save $200 or more in a new BMO Statement Savings account.
Accurate news as it happens.
We want to make sure our vaccination sites are ready.
Right here, where you live.
Nearly half of Dane County's total COVID deaths have come in the last month.
Information that you can use.
These case counts are still testing our public health system and straining our hospital system.
From the team you can trust.
So many generous people are willing to help us.
For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. When we hear a big storm's headed our way, some of us fall back into bed, some into fresh powder. Spending your day indoors or out, it's all about knowing what to expect. Watch News 3 Now for an accurate first warn forecast so you can plan your perfect day.
It's that time of year again. How can we help? Could you haul this away for me? Oh, it's gone. There was stuff here. Amazing.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
At Lambeau Field, Aaron Rodgers is almost unbeatable. Including the playoffs, A-Rod is 80-20-1. That's a pretty good home field advantage right there. And the percentage is even better with Matt LaFleur. Since he became Green Bay's head coach, the Packers have lost just twice at home. Now, on the other side of it, under Matt LaFleur, their record is 0-2 coming off a bye, which the Pack will be doing next week. But Rodgers isn't worried.
I think we need the bye. We need a couple guys to get healthy. We're a little banged up. And then obviously the weather is a big factor, a big helper for us in Green Bay. So I'm not worried about any rust or anything. We've been real solid all season in situational football, and we were again today on third down in red zone. So I like our chances moving forward.
It didn't take long for Jack Cohn to find a new home. 15 days after the former Badger quarterback entered the transfer portal, Cohn announced he's headed to South Bend to play with the Irish. Why there? Well, he did commit to Notre Dame to play lacrosse back in high school before the whole football thing worked out for him. And oh, by the way, Wisconsin and Notre Dame scheduled to play each other next season on September 25th at Soldier Field. Bucks trying to stay perfect at home, hosting the one-win Pistons. And when you have Giannis, good things happen to your team. The one-handed slam plus a mean mug puts Milwaukee up 9. Giannis finished with 43 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 big block. Bucks go on to win 125-115. The Badger men dropped 2 spots in the latest AP poll after splitting their last 2 games last week. Wisconsin now sits 8th in the poll. They're one of 7 Big Ten teams ranked in this week's top 25. Iowa leads the way at number 5. Badgers host the Hoosiers Thursday at 6 o'clock. Top 5 showdown in Division 5 between Blackhawk and Albany. Comets down early, but not going away. Brianna Dahl drives in for 2. Albany cut it as close as 8 in the first half, but then the Warriors would just turn it on thanks to their dynamic duo. Kaylee Marty dials one up from deep. She finished with 19 points, and then later, it's teammate Bailey Butler taking it hard to the rack for 2 of her 23. Blackhawk wins their 60th straight game, 72-52. And that's it for sports. Gary's back with one last look at the forecast after the break.
Hey, Tom.
Sheila. Hey, don't take losing the Anderson business personally.
I resigned it, Tom. I guess they didn't tell you about their opossum problem.
I thought it was pronounced possum.
This is the big one, folks. The Brothers Maine Everything's on Sale sale. Right now, you'll get everything from Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana with blowout savings, like a Maytag washer for $3.99 and a Maytag dryer for just $3.99. And you'll always get more from the More store, like our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. The Everything's on Sale sale, with more selection, more savings, and more satisfaction on everything. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Do you take daily prescription pain medications, but they don't help enough?
Do you want more options to better manage chronic pain? University of Wisconsin-Madison STAMP Study offers free, safe, therapeutic programs to address chronic pain. The programs occur once a week for 8 weeks and pays up to $340. Call 608-212-6902 today. Again, that's 608-212-6902.
Menards has the brightest ideas for lighting your home. We have thousands of lights to choose from so you can find the perfect light for your home. This 4,000 lumen LED wrap light is perfect for closets, storage rooms, and offices. Only $69.99. Get a head start on your garden with this LED grow light. The color-changing LEDs keep plants cooler and hydrated longer. It's $49.99 now during Menards Project Day sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger to create a personalized news feed just for you. The topics you want, the day's top stories, and push alerts for breaking news all through Messenger. Learn more at channel3000.com.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. On air, online, and download the Channel 3000 First Warn app. Be the first to know what's headed our way.
Better?
Stay updated on coronavirus vaccine information with News 3 Now.
Gary rejoins us as we get one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, the fog's starting to thicken up again, and especially over southwestern Wisconsin. You saw that camera view from Platteville, where the visibility right now is 0, quarter-mile visibility through much of Grant County. National Weather Service has just issued a dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. tomorrow for areas west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. So keep that in mind. There'll be some freezing fog out there as well. Temperatures are below freezing right now.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.